And before the next episode of our podcast, we want to tell you about an important milestone that our comedy horror series has reached. And what is this milestone, Harish?
It is the release of the 5th episode, which means we have reached the middle of the season. And it came out last Friday, 29 September.
Yeah, the comedy horror podcast is called After Life Support, and it's about a jaded millennial who gets laid off from her tech job and ends up going to work for her exorcist uncle. And the clash of generations and everything that comes from it.
Yeah.
And every episode features a different ghost from, Southeast Asian folklore, and also some guests from other parts of the world, right?
Yeah, and the reason is because she helps her uncle by creating a software that allows them to talk to ghosts. Yeah.
Using AI.
Using AI?
Yeah.
Yes, so it is current.
Yeah.
Using AI. What sort of ghosts does she talk to, Terence?
So far, she has talked to ghosts like Toyo,
From Malaysia, from Indonesia,
Manananggal,
Philippines.
the Headless Horseman,
Horseman,
from the
expat,
West.
expat from the West.
from the British East India Company.
Yeah.
And the Jiangshi, and the traditional Chinese zombie, the Jiangshi. And there are more coming up, which is why we're very excited that the show has finally hit this mid-season milestone, right? And that's why, if you haven't caught it already, please do check it out. It's available on Me Listen and other podcasts, Spotify and other podcast platforms. And it's something that is really dear to our hearts, and we're very, 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 very happy and proud of working on this together with Joe Tan, the very talented Joe Tan. So do follow it, and every Friday there'll be a new episode dropping all the way until Halloween.
Yeah. And I mean, every episode is about a ghost facing a modern technological problem, so it's definitely funny. So and I mean, with that, our good friends at Me Listen also want to do a little giveaway for you guys. So you can win Halloween Horror Nights tickets for you and your friend. And all you have to do is to answer a simple question at the link go.mediacorp.sg/yalabat. It's in the show notes. You just provide your name and email address, answer one question, get your friend to participate in the same thing with the same link, using the same details, and you might win a pair of tickets to go to Halloween Horror Nights 2023. So all the details are in the show notes. Listen to our podcast, enter the competition, and who knows, we might see you there at Horror Nights. Yeah,
the themes this year are pretty awesome. I think there's one based on The Weeknd, his Dawn FM album, and there's one based on a Korean zombie flick as well, a Korean zombie series that a lot of people watched. I think all of us did. So the themes in this year's Halloween Horror Nights sound pretty cool.
Sweet. All right, so check out the link in the show notes, and now on to the podcast. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Yala
But
your Thrice Weekly podcast, where we talk about the hottest news with a touch of what, Terence?
good old humor.
Good old humor and good old surprise, Terence.
Yeah.
Wow, feeling a bit cheeky today,
Just the Monday blues. Maybe.
Oh, is it? This is your October persona.
It is October.
It is October, man.
I think in the West it's a thing, right? October, everything goes like, they start, Halloween and everything. So it's all like, it starts to get a bit more darker, all the advertising and all.
Is it?
At least that's what I'm seeing on social media and all.
Oh, really? Oh, in anticipation for Halloween. And I guess if you're in the West also, and the Northern Hemisphere, the weather also gets darker earlier during the day, right?
Yeah. But in Singapore, it's still hot as hell.
Singapore is hot as hell. But it's October already, man.
Yeah, where did this year go to, right?
It is October.
It just flashed by.
Yeah, flashed by. And I mean, I guess it's something we feel every year, that a lot has happened. I mean, like, now the exciting thing is the Asian Games.
Yeah.
And I'm back to, whenever I'm home the whole day, I just leave the Asian Games channel going. It's just fun to watch.
What Asian Games channel? Like MediaCorp lah?
No, I think if you have cable, one of the sports channel.
Oh, okay.
I don't think MediaCorp has full day.
I see. Yeah. I only see little clips. They show little clips.
Yeah, because I remember doing it during the Olympics. You just leave it on, and whenever there's some sport, you just watch. Yesterday I was watching roller skating.
Oh, but how do you choose what sport to leave on? Because there's multiple channels. There's more than one, right?
I don't know. I thought it was only like one.
I think there's more than one.
More than one.
Because I do remember what you're saying on like one of the cable, like I have one of those services and they have multiple channels.
Yeah.
So which one do you choose to watch?
I mean, up till now, I only thought there was one channel. So I've never had to make the choice.
Oh, you never had to make the
I think it's the first one I see. I'm like, hey, it's on. Yeah.
You don't choose based on whether a Singaporean is competing.
I mean, that would be ideal.
Okay.
But when it came to roller skating, I assumed we have a team because I saw the Singapore flag, but I didn't decide it based on whether Singapore was competing or not.
I see. But Shanti Pereira got a silver.
Got a silver, man.
First athletics medal in 49 years or something.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, she had a bit of a scare during the heats, right? And then.
But do you think that was deliberate? Like she was just holding back or what?
No lah, because she qualified as the 2 fastest times outside of the top 6. So there was, I think, if you're top 3 on each heat, you're definitely confirmed lah.
Yeah.
But if you don't, that means you have to wait. And if you were not the one of the 2 fastest, then you won't qualify.
Yeah, amazing her. I mean, the fact that after that she went to the final and won the silver and all that,
silver. Right? And by 0.04 seconds.
Yeah. So it was that close lah. And I'm starting to see what she's saying, that a lot of it is stuff out of your control. So right, like the wind, the weather conditions. All you can really do is just...
The doping test also?
The doping test. The only thing you can do is just blank your mind and just do what you do best, lah, right? Just run. So I was watching her and her technique and everything like that, and it's pretty crazy. Lah.
And 12 hours after the final for 100 meters, she took part in the heats for 200 meters and she finished the fastest.
Yeah, which is a pet event. 200 is a pet event.
Oh, 200 is a pet event.
And at least that's what people are saying. But I was under the... correct me if I'm wrong, I was under the impression she was the favourite. Going to this Asian Games lah.
As in, she was the favourite based on the fact that she had run the fastest 100 and 200 meters amongst any Asian woman this year.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, but her personal best is not the best.
Oh, not the best. Okay.
Yeah, because I think the person who won the 100 meter, her personal best is 10.99. Like the first Asian woman to go under 11 seconds.
I see.
Yeah, whereas Shanti Pereira was 11.20 as her personal best.
Yeah, 2 something. Yeah. But I guess that's the thing about running now, right? It really is... I mean, it's the 11 or 12 seconds in the 100 meters that you just have to perform it. Everything has to line up perfectly.
Yeah, right? It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I was following a lot of the controversy about the 100-meter hurdles for women, where the Indian and Chinese runners were... one of them was disqualified for the false start. And then the Indian runner also got dragged into the whole thing.
Yeah.
Looks like it almost started a war between China and India.
Is it?
Yeah. Because a lot of allegations of like, bias and everything.
So where did it leave now? Like the Chinese runner was disqualified.
Yeah, she was. She ended up being disqualified lah.
But she won.
She was second when they raced, but she was racing under protest, meaning like there was a chance she would be disqualified lah, because she had done a false start before. But yeah, a lot of people are saying, how can she even be allowed to run? It's so obvious she was the one who false started prior to that. Big thing lah, big controversy. But I think at least it's okay lah. It's settled. Like she got disqualified lah.
And this was not the first time China and India butted heads outside of the actual event, right?
Oh, is it?
There was something to do with the visas or something.
Really?
Some passport thing.
I can't remember.
They had some controversy there.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still nice to watch. And by the time we upload this podcast, Shanti Pereira would have run her 200-meter final.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's at 7:45 p.m. tonight on Monday.
Is it going to be on TV?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, wow. Then definitely you're going to watch and support.
So yeah, I mean, hopefully, come on, Shanti.
Yeah. Hammer it down, man. Yeah.
Hammer it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. I mean, there's some interesting... I mean, the news we're going to be talking about was something that is not like a monumental one-time thing. It's just a series of things.
Yeah, it's going on for a while.
Yeah, but before we jump into that, anything you want to say, Terence?
As always, do remember to follow, subscribe, or do whatever you need to do to be up to date about when we drop new episodes of this podcast. Because I think that's the way to really show us your support lah. Get more people on the Yellowbutt bandwagon. Yeah,
and if you want to work with us or just share some ideas, you can always reach us at contact@ministryoffunny.com. Shout out to the people who have actually reached out. We've had brands, we've had a web developer, amongst a number of people who have reached out. So please keep them coming.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
But yes, shall we jump into this hot topic?
Shall we jump into it?
And it's not really a hot topic that is like just happened over the weekend or what. It's a few days ago.
Yeah.
But, I think it's still worth talking about because it's not Yeah, it's something that everyone is feeling right now in their pockets.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, I mean, there's one thing that is being anchored on. It was something that the current DPM Lawrence Wong said during a press conference on 28th September last Thursday. That the government is monitoring businesses to stop them from using increased costs as an excuse to profiteer. That basically means that like there shouldn't be any businesses that raise the prices of whatever they're selling because of everything else that is having their prices raised.
Yeah.
Like I think just off the top of my head, there's water price increase coming soon, carbon tax coming soon, transport coming soon.
Yep.
Housing is just on its own crazy. What else? GST coming soon.
GST end of the year going up again. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, it was there were a bunch of things he said during the thing which we will dive into. But how have you been keeping track about all this talk about increasing prices?
Track.
How does it make you feel? Or is it something you're like, fuck it, this is the world of today?
No, yeah, it is true that costs are increasing everywhere. But I think what's interesting in Singapore is where the cost increased. Why are the costs increasing so much, right? And like you mentioned, rent is a obvious, very, very, very big factor to it, right?
Yeah.
It's way disproportionately higher. The rental increase is disproportionately higher than any raw material or whatever increase out there that businesses have to face, And that's the tricky thing about Singapore. I mean, I just came from a place like Bali, right, where this trip was the first time I actually went to restaurants, decent restaurants, for a nice dinner and stuff like that. My previous trips to Bali is always very outdoor, very diving, very chill, that kind of thing. But this time I went to some restaurants and I was like, okay, I mean, yeah, you pay more than what you would pay elsewhere, but you kind of know exactly what you're paying for, the value and the experience and all these things. Whereas in Singapore, more recently, in general, just for a normal day out kind of thing, you realize that you're paying a lot more for everything, right? And you can't really discern between are you just paying for the opportunity to sit in this place which is in an expensive area of town, or are you actually paying for good experience or good food or what I find generally, like that. As in, what I'm saying is that just the baseline of just going out, you're just spending a lot more money in Singapore than anywhere else.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess there's one thing, because sometimes I feel like okay, if this plate of food or something is costing 10 cents more, I mean, on one hand I'm like, everything's increasing, but I think that's the thing about price increases, right? It's never going to be like, oh shit, that 10 cents is going to be the difference between you eating that plate of chai peng or not. But it just, I think it's the emotional feel of it. There's so much talk. Every week, there's some new thing that is having its price increase. And then it makes me look at other things and think, hey, shit, has that price increased? Because yesterday I was cooking with my wife and we got this black pepper chicken from NTUC, which is pre-marinated black pepper chicken. And as much as I would prefer to get the chicken and then marinate it, this black pepper chicken is pretty dope. But then I saw it was like a 400-gram piece for $7. Then I was like, hey, shit, was it always this expensive? And I don't know whether it was this expensive or not, or maybe it was. But my mind right now, right, is looking at everything and looking at it going like, oh shit, this also is more expensive. And that's why I feel like I think everyone is feeling that. Like even if things have not increased that significantly, it feels like it is. Which is a dangerous place to be.
Why dangerous?
I mean, because if it's not it's dangerous in the sense if everybody's feeling that, then it becomes emotional, and when people react emotionally, sometimes that's not the best thing.
Okay.
And then it makes you also question everything that you hear from the authorities, like let's say DPM Wong. I think one thing he was saying is that all these costs are increasing, but as a business you cannot increase costs. And that the most important thing for businesses is that the government cannot permanently subsidize business. They must be self-sustaining, profitable, and viable. So, it's important for them to restructure, continue to focus on moving up the value chain, be more efficient, be more productive, and all the schemes in the budget so far have been supporting this direction. So it just feels like, okay, all these prices are increasing, but it's on the business to figure out how to deal with it.
Yeah. And I think, as in the headline, he using the word the monitoring. The government is monitoring businesses. Very negative connotations are the word monitoring, because it was like, I think last time it was used ad nauseum was like monitoring HDB prices, right? By Desmond Lee and all that. So monitoring businesses to stop them from using. I mean, could I use any other word other than monitoring?
Like what? Like what?
We will be enforcing, anti-profiteering measures or something like that. But monitoring just feels way too passive at the rate at which prices are increasing these days.
Oh, so you're saying it's too passive?
Doesn't it sound very passive when you say you monitor something?
I guess.
Maybe it needs to be another level of passive aggressiveness.
But then if you go to the doctor and then they say, oh, your pain, maybe you monitor your pain. How you feel about that?
Okay lah. I mean, if you say it once lah, right? But if you keep saying it again and again and again, then be like, just give me the 10
keep going back
already.
to the same doctor. Doctor says, you know what, Terence, just monitor your pain.
Yeah. I think that word needs to be like this. The PR team in government needs to step in and just like ban the use of the word monitor already lah.
Monitor.
Unfortunately,
because now it has that negative connotation to it. I mean, these announcements were also made in like simultaneously with a bunch of packages and rebates and vouchers that were announced. There's the assurance package, cash special payment, where up to 2.5 million eligible adult Singaporeans will get $200 cash in December 2023. There's a one-off 0.5 month S&CC rebate for 950,000 households. There's CDC vouchers, another $200 for every Singaporean. And U-Save rebates, which is the utility, and public transport vouchers for people who fall under a certain income level. So there's a lot of things going on. Which I don't know. It feels like okay, it's good, but it still feels like it's very worrying. Because all this, it almost, like how the last round when the GST increase were the first 1%. 7 to 8, right?
Yep.
And I mean, this is what I'm just remembering from the emotions, right?
Yeah.
I remember when they announced that they were going to give all these rebates. So you know how like if every time you do B, you do A. So then now every time you do A, you assume B is coming. Does that make sense?
That means you... No, actually that doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what's your A and your B represent.
No, so like let's say when there was the first 1% increase, they give a bunch of rebates. So then now when they give a bunch of rebates, you almost assume that, okay, the next year there's going to be a lot of increases coming.
But there's an increase, right? There is a 9%, 8 to 9%.
Yeah, exactly. And all this is not even considering that, no?
Yeah.
Right, like I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I didn't know there was going to be a water hike.
No, that was new,
That was new, right?
Yeah.
And then public transport hike.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's a carbon tax hike. And we already know that there is going to be the 1% increase in January. Right. So then it feels like, when is it going to end?
It's quite painful for everyone. I think right now the cost of living going up and all that, right? But the other thing is that, I mean, this broad motherhood statement of government monitoring businesses to stop them from using increased costs as excuse to profiteer, right? I think that's worth like even just examining a bit, He mentioned there's a committee against profiteering that was set up in 2022, right, to prevent profiteering. Then I went to the website and just my cursory understanding of it is more about essential goods, right? Those are the things that they want to prevent profiteering, like your groceries, your milk, and things like that. And the idea is that businesses should not be using GST as an excuse to raise prices, So, from what I'm understanding of that is that if you raise prices as a business, okay, fine, labor costs, whatever go up. But if it's an essential good, like, groceries or what, then they have to examine it. And if you specifically say GST is the reason that you need to raise the prices, that's a no-go. So, but other than that, I mean, if you need to raise prices because of labor and things like that, seems to be okay to me. So I'm not. I think this statement of government monitoring businesses to stop them from using increased costs as excuse to profiteer sounds a lot broader than what the actual scope is of this committee against profiteering. Yeah. So it's not like going to watch a movie or what, they're going to like clamp down on the price increases there. No. It's not about that. It's really about just the essential goods.
Yeah, because they literally say on the CAP website, if you go about, the CAP was
CAP is
Committee Against Profiteering.
Yeah.
Was reconvened to investigate feedback on unjustified price increases of essential products and services. So, it's literally there.
Yeah.
Even in the FAQs.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it that way.
So it's not like you can go and complain about your bubble tea, the price going up for your bubble tea, and then say that, hey,
then chai peng is essential, no, right?
That's the thing, right? Is it essential? And then cai peng also, there's like good, really amazing cai peng, and then there's like mediocre cai peng.
Yeah.
So if the amazing one raises their prices, like, would you say there's profiteering? There is a difference in standard, right?
Yeah.
Between the really good cai peng and the not so good cai peng. So that's why it's when I read about that, then I hear that they're monitoring it, and then I realize like, this does CAP really have teeth? Does this Committee Against Profiteering, does it really have teeth? Or is it really like, confined to a very certain type of actions that certain businesses selling certain items take, So yeah, that's why I look at this. Even this headline just a bit even overstates the whole thing a bit to me,
Yeah, because looking at the members also, you get the chairman of the Fu Chao Coffee Restaurants and Bar Merchants Association, president and CEO of Singapore Retail Association, Restaurant Association, Business Federation, Sheng Siong, Lazada. Like it really looks like essential food items, which they say also eggs, chicken, vegetables, and meals from hawker centers and coffee shops, as well as non-food essentials like household products.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you brought this up because a few weeks ago there was also some controversy around this study that determined how much is a 4-person household or 3-person household.
Minimum income standards.
Yeah, minimum income standards. And it was a study that was done, I believe, by NTU, right?
NTU and the LKY School of Public Policy.
Yeah, correct. And basically what they came up to say was that I think they estimated that for a 4-person household, it's about $6,000 plus to
693, yeah.
693.
Closer to 7,
yeah. And when they did that, it's a big number, right? And then there were a lot of people talking, but there was a joint statement from 3 ministries that highlighted that that might be a bit misleading because they said that what they say it is so afford a basic standard of living. What they said was that this was more for items that are nice to haves, and that was a statement that they gave that the study is a bit misleading because they talked about things that you need to live a life of dignity and whatnot, which they said then that's not the minimum cost of living but just the message of it, is saying okay, we understand, but this is just for things that are nice to have, not things that are essential
for survival.
So that's where you hear it also, you're like, hey, really, like, must say until like that? Then you make this that means,
but
like,
who must say until like what? Who must say until like
no,
that?
when the government phrases it that way,
okay.
that is these are only 6,693 is for
nice
a family
to have.
that wants nice to have things
Yeah.
Then you also look at it, you're like, really?
Yeah.
That's a bit. Is that the best way to respond
Mm-hmm.
And in some ways, also what you're saying, how like now the monitoring of businesses for essential products.
Yeah.
There's this delineation between what's essential and what's nice to have, but when they put a headline like this, you're saying it encapsulates everything, right?
Yeah. I think the headline, or at least whatever the statement was, it could have been a bit clearer about what it is, right? Right now, I feel. Prices are just going up very. And can you blame business owners really? Like any business that you genuinely that you want to support, right? If they raise prices now, can you really blame them, Rentals have gone up by so much. The cost of hiring people, so it's not going down or anything, So it's almost like, how to you understand that, like, then businesses everyone's also just like, some businesses still climbing out from COVID and everything also, right?
But maybe what you're saying is that not that you cannot raise business prices, you cannot raise until that it's out of proportion from the cost increase,
Why cannot actually? if you need to, make up for what happened during COVID, for example, like Singapore Airlines, right? The prices of air tickets now is very, very high. Demand is there, and you could argue that they are making up for during the 2-3 years of COVID, right? When they lost a lot of money and all. So why not? Why can't they increase more than what the cost is, right? Yeah, it's demand and supply as well, right?
Yeah, so you're saying that you can't fault a business for doing that, lah.
I mean, in the way it's set up here, where it's I mean, generally, Singapore is a very pro-business environment and all, and the cost of living is going up for everyone. So if businesses also need more to survive, yeah.
I know, like, I don't know what the mechanics are for when you go to a hawker in a heartland or something, and they have like the budget meal.
Yeah,
I don't know whether there's any subsidies that the stall gets from the government to offer that, or whether they are just mandated that you need to offer something that is $3 that can be purchased.
My understanding is certain places, if you are operating a store here, there needs to be at least one option in your menu that is of a a budget option that can be attained by anybody. Not say anybody, like that is within a certain budget range.
But not sure whether there's any kind of subsidies afforded to them to offer that meal, because chances are the margins will be a bit lower, right?
The subsidies are your lower rental. Your low rental from the space. So that's why if you want to come into this space, you have to have that option available.
Yeah. So I mean, I can understand why it is the government would want to kind of ask businesses to not increase beyond what the cost increases are for their source raw materials.
Yeah.
I can understand why.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just the messaging of it. Maybe it's just the messaging of it that you are ultimately, for me, it was a statement that, like the government cannot keep subsidizing businesses, and it is on the business to continue to, upscale, move up the value chain, focus on productivity. Then you're like, if every business could do that so easily, then there wouldn't be businesses that fail. I should have thought about it. I just need to move up the value chain.
Yeah.
So it feels like it's almost like, okay, all these prices are increasing, and yet it is the burden of responsibility is put on these businesses to still move up the value chain so that they can still maintain their cost margins and not increase their prices.
Yeah. It is tricky situation. But at the same time, I think I think there's a lot of debate, right, about whether, say, raising GST, can it be delayed any further? Because it's already been delayed once because of COVID, and now it's been split into two tranches, right? 1%. Of course, some people are like, if they wanted to increase it, they should have done it at one shot.
Yeah.
Rather than this drag it out and make everyone feel like prices just keep going up over a period of 2 years, right? But prices are going up, right? It's just that, I think having to deal with price increases more, like even the same quantum but twice.
Yeah.
Just makes everyone feel it a lot more.
It's like, Terence, I tell you, instead of giving you one big punch this year, right, I'll give you two medium punches.
The 10 Ip Man.
Every month just yeah. It's just annoying. Every month you're like, fuck, this idiot is going to come and punch me. Yeah. Not too hard, but just hard enough to annoy me.
Annoy you. Yeah, exactly.
So you prefer just one knockout punch. At
least the discourse.
You wake up,
At least the discourse I'm reading, that people have pointed that out as a mistake. And the other thing people are also saying is that, it's just is inevitable because of the support packages during COVID. We need to have a way to tax consumption to make back that money, and there can be some plans to whether it's try and tax the rich more and everything like that. But those rich people also come with very powerful accountants and lawyers that help them move their money around and things like that. So it's not as easy as it looks. So the simplest way to do it would be to you increase GST, and then after that you offer some kind of countering package, assistance package to ease the pain of that GST burden for 1 or 2 years. But then when rich people continue buying their cars, or they will have to pay the additional GST also.
Yeah, correct.
So I mean that's the what I'm reading around. So I mean at least on Reddit, people seem to be generally okay. This is probably it's not a pleasant way to do it, but it's probably the best way to do it, lah. That's transparent for everybody.
Because it's almost like if you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, lah.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Because there was a lot of handouts given during COVID. And I mean, the efforts were also lauded globally, and I think everyone could feel it, lah.
Yeah.
So in this case, that's why now it feels like who knows what the right process should be. Should it be like within 1 month everybody builds up and it's like daylight savings and it's just daylight savings.
Yeah.
At one time the whole country shifts like 1 hour behind, which is a huge change, lah, right?
Yeah.
Whether it should be more like that or whether it should be more soft like this, lah. Don't know which one is better, but I guess the sentiment now is like every week there's some new price going up.
Yeah.
Something is going up.
So what is it for you, like the biggest shock in the increase of its price? What item or product or service for you has been the biggest shock to you in the last year or so?
Oh, you mean just like on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, anything like, yeah.
I think the mortgage.
Okay,
but that one was global interest rates.
Global,
right?
Yeah.
But even then, I remember I was like, oh my god, it's going to change like just overnight that much, and that was I think it hit me like, oh shit, as in, this is the kind of price increases that we are facing, the day-to-day stuff. I mean, there's just this feeling, everything's more expensive. But if you ask me to pinpoint, I don't know. Do you have something?
I think day to day, it's a lot of for me, it's a lot of the services that you're paying for your kids, right? Whether it's the enrichment classes or school, preschool and things like that. The prices increase year on year, right? And I mean, just from when he started going to school and now, and just hearing what the prices are and everything, big jump. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, for everyone. Yeah. So and all these additional things that you pay for enrichment and all that have also gone up in price, lah. Yeah. I mean, and then how do you call it profiteering? You call it profiteering, or do you call it the inability to, it costs more to hire teachers and things like that, lah, right? Can you really pinpoint exactly why the prices are going up? You can't, so.
And some more now, those sort of places need more CCTV cameras also, right?
Yeah, more CCTV cameras, more teachers on hand to, check each other and all that.
That's right.
So how, you
go to Kindle and don't profiteer. One of your teachers, two of your teachers fucked up, don't profiteer.
Yeah. Report you for profiteering.
Yeah, because it also becomes a very hard thing to monitor. Like this one uncle at a coffee shop who increases his like ban mian by 20 cents.
Yeah.
How would you kind of ascertain that there's been profiteering there?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe Stomp is becoming a repository, like every day there are multiple people who post how this now costs this versus how much it used to cost in the past.
Yeah. Is there even Stomp anymore? I thought
there
it would
is.
just be TikTok.
No, there is Stomp. It's very active.
Oh, is it?
It's one of my tabs that I open up whenever I'm doing research. It rarely yields anything substantial, but I just put it there just to get a feel.
It's a bona fide boomer.
Yeah, exactly. And every day there's something about the cost of some chai peng or some dish or some cockroach being found in some dish.
Yes.
Yeah, let me open up today's one and I'll tell you in a minute what the main headlines are over there.
That you basically summed up like what Stomp is as a website already.
Yep,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So I mean, it's interesting. Like I don't know, man. The same thing. Oh yeah, okay. So the trending article: McDonald's responds after customer says his nasi lemak burger came with no onions and no meat.
Profiteering.
No onions. Yeah. Jurong West style charges $4.20 for fried mee with only one ingredient, says costs have risen. Profiteering.
Report them. Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess that's it's a feeling that I think everyone's feeling, that things are just getting more expensive, man.
Yeah. I mean, don't even go into like COEs and all that. Those have like skyrocketed like nothing. Right?
Yeah. I mean, one thing they did say about the water cost, like, is we are water stressed nation. So it's also kind of like we must appreciate the importance of water to Singapore.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just, I mean, understand, but maybe it's all coming at once.
Yeah.
Don't know, man.
Tough one, and you know how prices are sticky. Even if it goes down in the future or anything, prices don't go down that fast.
Yeah. Then I remember there was one article last week about the first Bukit Panjang HDB in this one block of flats that crossed 1 million.
Yeah.
They were saying how all the residents are so happy that the value of their price and all. Which on one hand, good for them, but now it's like $1 million HDB is nothing already.
It's the norm already.
It's the norm.
Damn.
But
yes.
Welcome October.
Welcome to October, because it is that kind of month. But yeah, I mean, we've been talking a lot about the how Singaporeans feel they're getting the short end of the stick, getting shafted, due to higher prices. But Singaporeans overseas have also been not say giving the short end, but like also been shafting in other parts of the world, right?
Supposedly shafting. Allegedly shafting
in other parts of the world. And what is this? Who are these Singaporeans overseas doing this?
So the Republic of Singapore Air Force, just barely 2 months after their display at the National Day and a few weeks after the RSAF Day.
Yes.
Recently they did an exercise in Australia, and part of their flight path caught the attention of British and Australian media, because when you look from above, part of the flight path, it seems to trace out a dick and balls shape.
Yes.
Yeah, like you imagine like a dick and balls, it's not like abstract or anything. It is literally 2 spheres and like one sausage.
Yeah.
So there was a tweet, I think, and then people started talking about it, and then Perth Now described the plane's route as dick and balls in the sky.
Now it's an online publication. Is it?
Yeah. So on October 1st, because that flight was made on September 28th. So on October 1st, the RSAF themselves put up a post on Facebook in which it said it was aware of online reports about the flight path, and then clarified that the training flights are based on professional training objectives.
Yeah.
And then any resemblance is not intentional, and that it looks more like the Microsoft paperclip.
Clippy.
Right? Fuck that Clippy, man. Clippy, yeah. Screw that Clippy. But yeah, so what do you make of this, man? I mean, given that the first topic we spoke about was, so existential almost.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's pretty funny, man. Like, whether or not it was done deliberately, I think there's everyone can take away from this like a big sense of humor. Because I mean, RSAF puts out a statement, but the statement is essentially they put it up with a picture of a meme, the Drake meme of is it Hotline Bling, one of the music videos of that song. So that meme, so everyone's like taking it in very good humor. I don't think it's particularly like an international incident where the RSAF is embarrassed or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
So at first when I heard that RSAF made a statement, I was like, oh, what the hell? Like, does it necessitate a statement? But now when I see that post, I'm like, oh, they took it in quite good humor, and actually the whole thing's quite funny, right? However you choose to interpret it,
Yeah. I loved it. This is the kind of news that I look forward to Singapore making every once in a while.
I mean, like Shanti Pereira winning Asian Games gold medal.
Price increase,
and
dick and balls in the sky. Dick and balls in the sky.
Making Singapore proud.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you look at it, it's nice lah. It's very human lah. And you think about it, like British and Australian media were talking about Singapore planes.
Yeah.
Which is a step forward for our country, because last time when does Singapore appear in the news? Like if you talk 10,
caning,
15, caning or drugs or something.
Yeah.
No, but now dick and balls.
Dick and balls in
the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, like, and also I think what you said, the RSAS post.
Yeah.
That was they're not taking themselves too seriously.
But do you buy that it looks anything like Clippy the paperclip?
Nope. Do you?
When first I heard when they said it looks like Clippy the paperclip, I'm like, come on, like you can't possibly be using that as an excuse, right?
Yeah.
But now when you look at the social media posts, it's kind of okay, they're doing it like a bit tongue in cheek, right?
Yeah.
They know it's obviously not, and they're just sort of putting it there for fun.
But actually, to be fair, like Clippy is not too far away.
Okay.
Like Clippy has the 2 eyes.
Yeah.
With kind of a dick on the head.
Yeah. That's
and
right.
This one has that also.
But Clippy really is like something from like generations ago, right?
Yeah.
I don't think people are making tributes to to Clippy.
Is it still part of Windows now?
I don't think so. Not at least not in its current iteration.
Yeah, I mean, the only person in this room who uses Microsoft is Tristan.
To do what?
As in Microsoft OS lah.
Oh, you mean Windows lah?
Yeah lah, Windows lah, Windows.
Yeah. Because he was from like Word and all. Right? If you use Microsoft Word lah, right?
Oh yeah, it's Microsoft Word.
Yeah,
it's not Windows
not
lah.
necessarily Windows per se. Oh, Tristan, he just taught you. He just dated you back.
Tristan, is
century.
Clippy a thing? Have you seen Clippy? Okay, so if you didn't hear that, Tristan said very excitedly that he hasn't seen Clippy
in years.
Yeah, Clippy the paperclip.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is not world-changing news. I think it's a great way to start the week.
Phallic flight route.
Phallic flight route. Phallic flight route.
Yeah.
But
do you
yeah,
think
man.
it'll be, I mean, let's say the pilot was trying to make some statement or something like that, right? What do you think? You think it was like because like maybe he lost a bet or he's frustrated with rising prices in Singapore or something like what do you think is the message behind this?
I mean, maybe it's just one of those things, like how now people do things for the gram.
Yeah.
This is the plain equivalent. And the one thing I have realized over the years as I get older, right, is like any role or any job that you think is super serious.
Yeah.
Oftentimes it is not as not serious. It's not. Okay, one example that hit me when I was younger. My friends who eventually became doctors, they told me once, and I mean, don't quote me on this as scientific fact, but I have heard that when people kind of like have to operate on the stomach and have to kind of take out your intestines for a period of time, I would have thought that if you needed to put it back, you would, layer it in like
properly,
like a S, multiple S.
Yeah.
But they told me, no, you just chuck it in.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like the peristalsis of the food, where the intestine moves the food around through contractions, it doesn't matter what position it's in.
The body sorts itself out.
Yeah,
right?
and I was like, what do you mean? They said, yeah, you just... Okay, so if doctors are listening and if this is absolute bull, I will go tell my friends off.
Yeah.
But from what they told me, you just take it. You don't like fucking stuff it in without care or anything, but you don't need to arrange it that way. And that blew my mind.
And your friends are going to be investigated by Singapore Medical Council in 3, 2, 1.
I mean, I never said they're Singaporean doctors. Okay, I never said they're Singaporean doctors.
There's an intern somewhere is going on your Facebook to look for doctor friends of Harsh
and maybe
Delani.
people who have had stomach operations that, that's why my intestine feels so funny. Yeah, so I always remember that, and I was like, oh shit. So maybe in this case, it really was like, they're like, hey, tomorrow what shape you going to draw?
Yeah.
I think I'll do a star. Hey, I'm going to do a dick and balls. Bro.
Yeah.
Bro, I dare you, man. I dare you.
But we need to, I guess maybe, but this one was discovered on Reddit. Like someone, I think this website that allows you to track, the flight paths and things like that.
Oh, yeah, it was discovered, that's true.
It's pretty cool that someone else, it wasn't like seeded by the pilots themselves or what, but someone else actually found it. Yeah.
Wow.
Quite funny.
Yeah, it's a dick and balls, man. I mean, it kind of looks like a bit like Homer Simpson also.
Wow, if you really squint your eyes.
If you imagine.
Yeah, have you seen those memes around those like, oh, look at this picture, then if you squint and hold it far away, it's actually a picture of Ronaldo and stuff like that. What you see, I mean, it's like a picture of a garden. If you squint and look like...
that's the 3D one, right?
Yeah, it's all created by AI.
I love that shit. Remember when we were young, there was this book called Magic Eye?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but
this is different.
That one is like some 3D thing. This one is like, it's just the general likeness.
I haven't seen.
And it's all created by AI, so it's not as cool as it was back then. But a lot of these are coming out around now. Yeah. But I'm trying to squint and pull back, and I don't see any Homer Simpson in there.
You imagine if Homer Simpson lost a lot of weight, and just his eyes.
He had hair like Marge. He had hair like Marge.
Hair like Marge. Yeah.
Yeah. Then maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that's what they were going for. Like they were trying to make Homer Simpson's face.
Correct.
And now it looks like
shit.
Yeah, the pilot maybe not so skilled.
Yeah, man.
Not as great an artist.
Yeah, but yeah, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
Tell us if you see anything else in the image that is worth pointing out.
And if you're a surgeon who thinks I spoke absolute bullshit, please let me know also.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's right.
Awesome.
And what is your one shiok thing?
One short comment.
Oh, sorry, one short comment. Yeah.
Yeah, my one short comment was something on whatchamacallit, our podcast 442, which is about the WW2 bomb and what our place is in the world.
Yeah.
Someone, Nicholas Gerard 1579 on YouTube, very nicely declared that he did the audience survey. I think the link might still be active. So if you're listening to this and you haven't done the survey, just click on the link in the show notes. I think it's probably the last day.
Yeah.
So he said he did the survey and said that this is probably the first local podcast I'm finding myself looking forward to and checking YouTube daily for new episodes.
Yeah.
Keep it up, guys.
Oh, sweet.
Love that shit.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Nicholas Jarrett 1579.
Nice.
So that was my one show comment. What about you?
Mine is from our subreddit where Kosher Jellyfish posted a picture, like some Fujifilm, I think those are Polaroids or whatever, of local football heroes. And like I think there's 7 of them, like the pictures of 7 of them there with their signatures and all. And I think it was just posted because they remember that we have talked about being fans of like local football back in the day. And it's true. I looked at all these photos. I can name every single one of these people.
Yeah. Correct.
Without missing a beat.
Yeah.
And like, I can tell you their playing styles and what position they play and everything.
Epic. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy now, right? That back in the day, that's even like for kids back then, you would worship these people, and then like even as you're old, you still remember all of them.
Yeah.
And ask you to name like 5 players from the local football team now, and it's like it's tough, right?
It's just Fandi Ahmad's kids.
Fandi Ahmad's kids.
Fandi Ahmad's kids. Yeah. But yeah, exactly. Actually, that's true. Like it didn't occur to me also that just naming them in a heartbeat totally can.
Yeah, and they don't have their names written there or anything, but I know every single one of them who they are.
Wow,
crazy thing, right?
Wow, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Who are they? Come we go.
Malik Awab, Fandi Ahmad, Nasri Nasir, Abbasat, Lim Tong Hai, Jang Jung, and Kadir Yaya.
Yep.
Left to right, man. Yeah.
Fucking giving me goosebumps, man.
Yeah. Even just saying all those names brings back memories. And that
cool,
song,
man.
that song.
Yeah. Come on, everybody.
Exactly.
Cool. Okay. And now, what is the one shock thing?
Let me pull mine up, but you have yours first.
Yeah, mine is the latest season of Sex Education on Netflix. It's season 4.
Okay.
I'm halfway through it, loving it. And I mean, it's one of those shows where every season it feels like it gets better.
Okay.
And the characters are all the same. And because it's set in school, the changes they go through physically, emotionally is quite drastic over the seasons. And it's nice to see all of them develop. The only downside is because there's a lot of like sex scenes and like dick pics that just come out of nowhere.
Oh, really?
So watching it, I guess in public or at home, if you have older folk or younger folk, just have to be careful.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How many times has that happened for you?
I mean, thankfully, like with my mom staying with us now, not because you have to be cautious. I don't watch it like freely.
Okay.
But it's just a very
you
fun
go in,
watch.
like you close door. Hey, Mom, I'm just doing some work. That kind of thing. Is it? Okay, don't disturb me. Okay.
No, watch in the hall. Then when she says good night, I'm like, hey, good night. Okay, you're not gonna get up, right? You're gonna sleep, right? then start watching.
Oh, you like my when my kid comes around the TV, I have to switch it off and pretend like, what's that voice? Yeah, there's sound. No, nothing.
Nothing. Correct. Exactly that. But yeah, it's a very fun show, and like I just love it. It's a teenage kind of thing, but there's also adult themes, and I think it's very watchable for any kind of adult. I love it.
I see.
It's really good.
Cool.
What about you, man?
My one shock thing was just over the weekend. I think there was a one championship event, and Angela Lee, the atomweight champion, and she retired. I think after it's been a very troubling year after after the death of her sister, Victoria Lee. So she retired over the weekend. And I mean, it was at least they gave her like a ceremony to retire, announce her retirement, So that was pretty good. And then there was immediately after that there was a fight for the winner would become the undisputed atomweight champion. And it was between Stamp, which is she was a Thai fighter, and I think a Korean fighter, Ham Seo Hee. Yeah. So yeah, pretty. I mean, Stamp has been her story also has been really quite interesting. Like coming from poverty in Thailand into now becoming a very big star. And I think she's also built up quite a big social media following because she's quite funny, like doesn't take herself too seriously. Always
Stamp.
always dancing like K-pop dancers before and after her fights, and like she does funny TikTok videos and things like that. But she's a badass in the ring as well, like really like Muay Thai badass. So yeah, I mean the whole thing was quite something to watch. Like the fact of seeing Angela Lee retire and sort of hand over, passing on the baton to Stamp in this case. Yeah. So, and it all happened in Singapore. This was on Saturday morning. Yeah, Saturday. Was it Saturday or Sunday morning? Saturday morning. Yeah. Saturday morning.
Wow.
So quite interesting. Yeah.
I mean, I remember seeing she laid down her belt on the ground and all, right?
Yeah,
Must be quite emotional.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But it's funny things, they have these events on Saturday morning in Singapore.
Saturday morning?
So that when they stream on Prime Video in the US, it's like Friday night.
Oh.
Friday night fight. Yeah. So it's quite...
Saturday morning, like before brunch, go watch UFC.
Exactly, yeah. So I think the main event starts around 10 a.m. So you can have a breakfast, then go and watch. But it's quite... I just thought about it. I was just thinking about it over the weekend. You know how sports in the US... Sorry, in the US, it's a very... Monday night football, then even down to like Thursday night, or you'd be watching NBA or something on Thursday night, Friday night. But actually, then when it comes to the weekend, actually they don't have a lot of like sports lah. Not and the sports on the weekend are primarily like boxing or a lot of like UFC and stuff.
Oh, is it?
I think as in the big sports like football, American football, baseball, basketball. They actually during the weekdays it's usually on weekdays, right? Yeah. So, but in Singapore, our culture, because of what Singapore is, we can have like sports in the morning like, a lot of times. We can have events in the morning because then they'll be streamed overseas and when it's like evening time elsewhere.
And, actually, that's true. I think
makes it quite interesting.
British football is the one over weekends lah. Same with like football.
Yeah.
But America is like a job lah for them. They work during the weekdays.
During weekdays, and then weekends is when there's. People just go out and have fun. They don't sit at home and watch sports. It's quite interesting because then, you think about it and like how many people on Saturday morning can, like take time off from family or that to go and watch like a 3-hour sports event and all that, right? But I guess because Singapore is a global city and also that's why we have to play to global timings.
Wow, interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening. First podcast of October, and we'll talk to y'all soon.